Alright, this is like the fourth time that I'm doing this video, just because every single time there's something wrong with it. Anyway, hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, the topic is Islam and culture. Do they blend? Do they not blend? What's the deal? So, the reason why I want to talk about this topic is that ever since I reverted to Islam, I've been interested in learning about it, and especially from people from different backgrounds. Everybody has a different way in how they view, how they see religion in one way or another. And especially, I've always been interested in seeing how does culture play a major role in the way a person perceives their religion. I think this was very apparent for me, especially growing up as a Catholic, that there was something so different about a Catholic for Latinos, like being a Catholic as a Latino, and then being Catholic in like the United States, for example. I usually like to summarize it as for us being Catholics, Latino Catholics, you know, you would go to church and there's always some music, and we were just like, yay, very joyous in our celebration of Mass. But then I had the opportunity to go to an English version of the Mass, and to tell you that it's the most boring, weird, kind of depressing-ish matter. It just didn't seem like it brought as much joy as like a congregation member for that. And I don't know, it really sparked that interest in knowing how did different people perceive their own religion based on their culture, where they're from. So then that leads me to Islam as a whole. So does Islam have a culture, right? Does Islam have anything that kind of makes that people change a way of their life or something in a society? And to be honest, I still don't know the answer to that. Technically yes, technically no, and depends on the circumstances, and it depends on how you would consider religion to be, or what would you consider like culture to be. So there's definitely a huge difference in opinions on that. But I think there's a few examples in which I could say that cultures around the world took Islam and shaped it in a way that kind of fit their own societies in a way to make things easier. Honestly, the most straightforward example I can think of is women wearing hijab. I think this has the biggest diversity in pool when it comes to how hijab is worn, when, and so many more other things. So usually I get asked by people, sometimes like, my stance on like hijab or whatnot. And for me, that's a very difficult question, since I'm semi, but not semi, new to the religion itself. I'm aware of it, and I am aware that in general, it's strongly recommended that women should wear it, from what I understand, right? You might have a different opinion, but with that, a lot of people tend to think that wearing the hijab, covering oneself, is predominantly, just the head, right? Just the hair, not showing anything. But for other people, they might think of cases like in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, where there might be women who are fully covered, right? Even with the face, or they just show their eyes, something like that, right? They just have this stereotype, or like the ideal, this idea of what it is. And honestly, as we can see, there's a big difference with that, depending on where you're from. In some cultures, they might see that as, okay, just covering, and then maybe something more loose, more modest. Meanwhile, for others, it's like everything needs to be covered, right? Nothing can be showing, not even the hands, like nothing. And honestly, that's just how the culture, I guess, took that and ran with it in some way or another, right? Another thing that I like to point out a lot is the garment for men as well, right? So depending on where you're from, what culture you're from, you might have a special attire that you wear for going to the masjid, or you just have something that you just wear every day, and then that's what you go to the masjid because it fulfills the requirement of covering the awwa. Awwa. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying water in Spanish. But anyway, so that kind of those kind of requirements are fulfilled in different ways in different countries, right? You have places like Indonesia, Malaysia, which would have like the wrap thing that you just put around your hips, and there you go. That's kind of covering that area as well, shirt or something. And then you have places in the Middle East where they have the full-on like thob thing. So that's kind of more of their style, how they kind of interpreted it. But it also depends, of course, on the environment, the weather, the climate. All that plays a big role to how they choose their vestment, and even things such as whether or not people should wear the hat in the masjid. I definitely see that a lot at the masjid that I go to, right? I don't wear it because there doesn't seem to be a need for it, I guess. But a lot of the brothers that go there, mainly from Pakistan, from Afghanistan, India sometimes, or like Indonesia, they will wear it at the masjid, right? It just all depends. Again, what I think is culture. How did they take the kind of not commandments, like the requirements in Islam, and then take that with their culture and blend it so that it just flows naturally. So with that, those differences are stuff that I look at myself, because I'm a Latino Muslim. There's not that many of us. We don't have anything that kind of makes us stand out from anything. If anything, if I wear the garment that I got from Saudi Arabia, or the one that I got as a gift from Pakistan, most likely I get confused as someone from that place. And that's happened many times. But there isn't anything that kind of makes us stand out for in any way. I know the most obvious thing, I know for us, a lot of Central Latin America, we are farmers. We are agriculture. We are cow owners. So, for us, our daily kind of wear would be pants, long pants, long sleeve shirt, kind of like a button up, cowboy hat, boots. That's all we need, right? So technically, we already, we covered the whole thing, so we don't have to worry about that. But there isn't anything that kind of makes us stand out per se, right? So it's interesting, and it's always something that I've kind of wanted to figure out, like, how could I make it, my own, but is it really necessary, right?
I think that for me, not being able to feel recognized is the main reason why I feel like I need to stand out. Even though I already stand out as a person, what you might wear, not Western style, seems to interest me a lot. I know it is not a big deal topic, but sometimes I find it hard to show my pride for my heritage.
I know here in Japan, one of the things that I've seen being worked on by some members of the community is our prayer mat that's actually made of kind of like a tatami material. If you don't know, put it somewhere like here. So they're using that kind of material to make a prayer mat, and that really kind of fits the whole is kind of ingrained itself in like Japanese culture in some way, right? People feel a little bit more related to that thing. So I guess my overall question is, do you ever think about Islam and your culture? Is it something that you feel like it's really ingrained? Do you think that it's something that you could separate and kind of live without? Let me know. I'm really curious. I would really like to have a conversation with that. That's pretty much my video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what else I should talk about. I have a bunch of ideas, and I feel like I should put like a poll or something on Instagram, which, by the way, follow me on Instagram. I just post whatever I'm doing. I work as an English teacher here, so I don't have the most interesting life, right? I'm not a full-time content creator, so I can't be out here kind of exploring the world. I got a job to do. I gotta do my duties. So weekends are usually the times I get to go out, if I have the money or if I have the time. So it all depends. Please let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content kind of like this. And yeah, let's build this brotherhood. I would really like to get to 100 subscribers at some point. But yeah, with that, I'll see you later. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salud. Nos vemos. Matane. There we go. All right. Bye.